So, what makes the Shamma Warriors one of their top-selling sandals, and why would the barefoot sprinter switch to using these as one of the main sandals for his workouts? Stay tuned to find out. Hello, my name is Nick. I'm new to the world of barefoot and huarache style sandal running, and I'm trying to make these videos just to be helpful and hopefully alleviate some of the stress of trying to figure out the proper footwear for people interested in minimal style running, barefoot running, that kind of thing. And these are the Shamma Warriors. So let's get into it. So the Shamma Warriors are a 5mm footbed, very thin, just thin enough that sharp rocks and branches and things like that won't really irritate your feet when you're running, hiking, things like that. But it's thin enough that you get good ground feel as well. That 5mm does seem like a nice sweet spot, and you also get plenty of tread to wear down as well. Underneath, on the sole, we have a Vibram New Flex sole, and this is very grippy in grass, in gravel, dirt, wet or dry conditions. And this kind of zigzag pattern that's going on through here also seems to give a good little bit of cushioning when you're on real hard surfaces. So most of my running is on concrete, so having a little bit of give on there with that zigzag pattern is really nice to have. But definitely when running through grass and dirt and things like that, I hadn't had a problem. West Michigan here, it's been pretty rainy and wet and lots of leaves and things out, and I haven't had too much of a problem. If it's a big pile of leaves, you're gonna slip for sure, but nothing that I didn't feel, insecure about, and I was totally fine running in these. On top, where your foot's on top of the sandal here, this Shamma, I'm gonna call it outsole or footbed here, is pretty comfortable. We have this diamond tread pattern. It says Shamma all over it, and that is super grippy. It works great, and it's soft. It works great in dry and in wet conditions, and that was the main reason I wanted to get a pair of these, because I had the leather ones and they're almost not usable when it's too wet out or if it's raining. But these have worked really well, and this diamond pattern almost kind of reminds me of a Chaco, if you've ever tried those out. I did have a little bit of hot spots when I first got these, and I was a little concerned, but it definitely went away once your foot kind of makes an indent in there. They're very soft, comfortable, and I haven't had a problem with hot spots. Granted, it's been pretty cold here in West Michigan, so I haven't been sweating as much, so maybe your mileage will vary if you're in a really hot climate, but definitely awesome. They clean up super easy as well. Shamma's elite lacing system here, so this whole thing is awesome. Lots of retention on there, and it holds the sandal really well and really mitigates that sandal slap that you'll get sometimes with barefoot sandals, so I like that a lot. It's super easy to adjust. Actually, Josh from Shamma reached out to me on my first video with the leather edition, link in the description down here. But he said to try and move the buckle and this strap more on the lateral side, and I did that. I probably could go more, but it works for me right now and is very comfortable. This webbing also, so I've been doing some running in some very wet conditions, and even when these are just totally soaked, they definitely hold and they're okay. I did notice a little bit of slippage on the retention area, so this buckle system, when they were soaked, after about 1.5 miles or so, I had to adjust them, but they did hold. The Velcro that they use is awesome. No problems there. The Ultra Suede that's on the outstep post and the instep post right here, so you can tell on this one, there's maybe you can't see super great, but lots of wear. It's very soft in any condition. So if I'm, sweating through it, if they're dirty, if they get soaked, I haven't had a problem with hot spots. They seem to be wearing really well. The stitching is flush, which is nice, so it's not rubbing anywhere. No problem with the heel, because that's a lot of retention right there is on that heel, so you definitely don't want blisters. But that's worked great, and I love that. The toe post here in the front and is also pretty comfortable. So originally when I was lacing them and it was more vertical, I had a lot of pinching. Now that I've moved it out to the side, I feel like they are more comfortable, especially on those steep descents where your foot's really sliding forward in the sandal. So no problem with that, no blisters or anything between the toes. Underneath, the toe posts do poke through a little bit. You might feel that initially when you try these on and you're wearing them, but either you get used to it or they start wearing down enough to the point where you don't notice it. If you're running in them, like I mainly am, these back two, they're barely touching the ground anyway, so it's not a big deal. They're also very quiet. The plastic, you don't hear like a clicking or anything like that when you're on concrete. So these have been the daily drivers for quite a while now, and overall I think they're awesome. I definitely would recommend them if someone's interested in trying Shammas. And so let's get into the pros and cons. Cons, when you first get these out of the box or bag when they come, I wouldn't say they are not the most comfortable. It feels like a slab of rubber on your foot, and it's not until you really wear them in a little bit and your foot imprint is in there that I think these really come alive. And once that happens, they're super comfortable, which is nice. And I find myself reaching for these a lot, even now when it's pretty cold out and going for runs. And that's really the only complaint I could say. Pros, and the main reason I got these work in both wet and dry conditions. So the leather ones, good luck if you're doing river crossings and things like that. They're probably not the best. I don't think I'd recommend them. But these, awesome. I would definitely use these to go hiking and things like that if I was around more trails. I think they'd be awesome for running. They're fantastic. I've pretty much only worn these for about the last month or two, and they've performed great in doing light workouts at like a park and things like that. So I definitely would recommend them for that. The lacing system's awesome. And another pro, and this is for a lot of their sandals, is that you can swap out the parts. So if you just want a footbed, you can just get the footbed. If you just want some straps, you can just get some straps, which is really nice. And that's really all I have to say about these. I'm curious if you've tried Shamma sandals. What's your experience been? Do you love them? Do you hate them? And why? Go ahead and comment down here in the comments. And please like, comment, subscribe as well for more. Since I have both the leather edition and the non-leather version, I plan to make a video comparing the two. That's something I definitely struggled with, trying to figure out which sandal would be best. And so stay tuned for that when that comes out. I hope it'll help out somebody. But until then, have a great day and happy trails.